नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ 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 नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Good afternoon, guten Tag. How are you all doing? Keeping well? So I think last Saturday and Sunday I talked something on creating an empowered human race and great mother and great child, if my memory serves me well. So I want to continue with the same subject for today also. I want to talk a little more on that. You know Swamiji, when Vivekananda, when he was in the West, he spoke about the greatness of Indian women to the Western women. And he told them, in India, our ideal of womanhood is motherhood. So in the West, the ideal of womanhood is wifehood. There's difference between culture and culture, civilization, civilization, country and country. He told them that women in India, they feel fulfilled through motherhood. They feel they have become complete at retaining motherhood. So the ideals of different races are different, different nations are different. And so when he was telling them, and in one of his interactions that he was having with American women, Swamiji was putting a few questions to them. But I ask you the question tonight, do you all pray for the children to come? Are you thankful to be mothers or not? Do you think that you are sanctified by motherhood or not? Ask that of your minds. If you don't, your marriage is a lie, your womanhood is false, your education is superstition, and your children, if they come without prayer, will prove a curse to humanity. Very strong language. And then Swamiji goes on to add, from motherhood comes tremendous responsibility. There is the basis, start from that. Well, why is mother to be worshipped so much? Because our books teach that it is the prenatal influence that gives the impetus to the child for good or evil. Do you get that? Are you able to follow me? Go to 100,000 colleges, read 1,000,000 books, associate with all the learned men of the world. Better off you are when born with the right stamp. You are born for good or evil. The child is born God or a born demon. That's what the books say. Education and all these things come afterwards and are a mere trifle. So how important, what are the samskara that child gains when it is growing in the womb of the mother? That's of paramount importance. So Swami is saying man is born God or born demon. So if you pray, if you lead a life of penance and tapas and prayer, when child is growing in the womb, and then you will have a sattvic child, and afterwards putting a good school in a good school and bringing up the child well, 90% of your parenting is over, done. Swamiji says, Vivekananda would say, my mother and father prayed for 2 years and brought me into the world. So, not that by going to school and college he acquired knowledge. All the knowledge he had gained in the womb of the mother. It was his mother who did the penance for him to become a great human being. So in the West today, women, as they are in competition with the men and they just want to be on a par with the men, and they think actually motherhood is a curse. Nature itself has put us at a disadvantage because we have to go through this pain of bearing the child and bringing up the child. 2 years of time, 3 years of time goes in that. That affects our career and we don't get promotion. And again you have to find a new job. Sometimes you will be laid off. So all this, they are taking it a kind of curse. And of course, they don't want to make children because of that. That's why the population growth rate in most of the Western countries is negative. Whereas in India, we marry and afterwards, immediately 2 children for everybody. It's like a duty. People in this country are dutifully begetting 2 children as if it's their right and it's a duty. Not necessary. When you don't have that quality time, don't make children. When you can't make that little sacrifice, when you don't feel that you become blessed through motherhood, and if you don't consider it as a privilege and blessing given by God, don't become mothers. And don't bring the child into the world. It's not for both mother and father. If you can't give that quality time, better don't make children. Because if the child is well born, it is a 20-year project, bringing up the child. That's why I told you already, human child is not like an animal. Human child is a very complex life. And a lot of nurturing is required. A lot of love is required. A lot of attention is required. A lot of emotional support is required to bring it into, to make it into a complete life. It's not a joke. It can't be done mechanically, accidentally. No mother should go for, bringing up the child or bearing a child unwillingly, grudgingly, disinterestedly. Should not be done. It's a curse if you do that. So it requires a lot of nurturing. That's why it's very important that you consciously actually make that quality time and then actually you go to bring a fresh life into the world. It cannot be done accidentally. In our culture, you know the story of Abhimanyu, okay? The prenatal influence, how powerful it is. When Abhimanyu was growing in the womb of Mother Subhadra, Arjuna was narrating her the story of Chakravyuha, that military formation, the battlefield. And she heard the entering into the Chakravyuha, but she did not hear when he was explaining how to come out of the Chakravyuha because she slept off, right? She slept off and so she couldn't hear that. Because of that, Abhimanyu he knew only how to enter into the Padma Vyuha, but not how to come out of it, because of it, he was killed in the Mahabharata battle. The prenatal influence is so powerful. In the Mahabharata, there is another story. Kunti, when the Pandavas were in exile in the forest, they were guests of a Brahmana family there, because they were in 13 years of exile, right? So during that period, when they were in the home of that Brahmana, one day suddenly Mother Kunti heard deep sobs. They were crying and wailing, and she goes to them and asks them, why are you weeping? And then the head of the family says that, today one person from our family has to go as food to that Rakshasa, Bakasura. A demon was living in the nearby forest. So before that, he would come to the village and kill anybody and everybody for his food, and he would not show any mercy to them. And thus, so villagers came into an agreement with him, because if you do this, we will get wiped out completely. So afterwards, you will not get food and you will die of starvation. So the agreement is that every day they will send one full cartload of food, 2 bullocks, and 1 human being a chutney. Right? That is the agreement. So on that day, it was the turn of the Brahmana family to send one person from their family. Father was saying to son, I will go. Son was saying to father, I will go. They were arguing and also they were weeping. And one person will die for sure. Then Mother Kunti goes and tells him, don't worry, I have 5 sons. I will send one of them. And then at that point of time, you don't worry, because we are all guests and you have played host to us and we are indebted to you. Okay, we owe a sense of gratitude to you and we have to do something to you in return for our hospitality that you have provided. And then Yudhishthira intervenes and he looks at Mother Kunti, and says, what kind of mother are you? Because I have 5 children, you want to sacrifice 1. Can there be any mother on this planet Earth who says, I have 5 children, let 1 die? What kind of mother you are? You are a wicked mother, Yudhishthira says. Then Mother Kunti says beautifully, Nachasau rakshasah shakto mama putra vinasine viryavan mantra siddhascha tejasvi cha sutho mama. Nacha asau rakshasaha. This demon, okay, will not be able to kill any of my sons. Nacha asau rakshasaha shakto mama putra vinasine. Mama putra vinasine. He cannot kill my children. Why? My children are viryavan. They are actually full of power and vigor. Mantra siddhascha. They are born with mantra power, because she chanted mantras when they were growing in her womb. And it says tejasvi cha sutho mama. They are also very radiant. So no evil force in this world can destroy any of my sons. I know that. I know how I have begotten them. Then Yudhishthira was very happy. He knew after all that no evil force can touch any one of them. But he just wanted to test his mother and love. So these are all the stories that come to us, to explain the power of prenatal influence. Why I am saying that, as a generation, you will be bringing the next generation into the world. Do it consciously. Thank you. Have a nice afternoon.